Discus may not exactly have a long and distinguished career of game design, but they're definitely off to a good start with their new puzzle game, Jewels of the Oracle, designed by Eloy Productions.
And to help us take a quick look, we've got a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the title character, the Oracle.
It has begun. You shall go with me. Our city and our ways will you embrace.
He's a little stiff, folks. You'll have to forgive him. It's his first time out of the temple.
In Jewels of the Oracle, you are an archaeologist who discovers the remains of an ancient civilization who were more interested in developing their intellectual skills than in combat and weapons.
You'll notice they aren't around anymore.
The snake baking in the sun attends decisions already made.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, there's this beautiful thing floating on the ancient altar, and when you come in, it all blows up and scatters to the four winds.
Eventually, you make your way here to the well room, and you get to choose between 30 different puzzles. Every puzzle you solve properly brings one of the jewels back.
Ultimately, the idea is to get all of them back and restore the civilization to its former glory. Mind you, I'm not so sure that's a good idea. What about Darwinism? Survival of the fittest, stuff like that?
This is not a place to risk conjecture.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jeez, don't take it so personally.
The puzzles are, for the most part, really tricky, so don't think you're going to restore all the jewels in an afternoon.
Okay, but some of them are either too easy or too familiar. For example, this is a version of the old wolf, sheep, and rat puzzle. I must have learned this in 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah, it's an old gambit, but you have to admit it looks amazing. The designers worked very hard on making the puzzle devices look not only realistic, but very old.
So there's all these cool things lying around for you to mess with, and they're usually made from really big and heavy materials. Lots of stone and wood.
There's a nice balance struck between solving the straightforward 7th guest type puzzles and just looking around at the cool environment, trying to figure everything out and where it fits, like in Myst.
Part of the challenge is figuring out what you're supposed to do with the objects in the first place. No one flat out tells you the rules. The best you get is our friend the Oracle, and it's his job to be obscure.
Pursue what path you may, so long as your endeavor leads you to wisdom.
My point exactly.
You can't get to everything all at once. The well room is set up so that 6 of the puzzles cannot be reached until you solve 4 adjacent ones.
I wish there was some way to bypass all the walking around you have to do. It's all done in QuickTime movies, and the game does include version 2.0, which is still a bit choppy and slow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Myst is one thing where there are so many new and strange places to visit. Here it's pretty much walking back and forth from the well room to the puzzle, to the well room to the altar, and back again to the well room. Every door opening calls up the same psychedelic travel sequence. They should have either added more variety to this aspect of the game or allowed you to just skip past it.
Do not neglect the long route, if it is the only path.
Silly me. I forgot the philosophical side of things.
The tone of Jewels is very relaxing. There's no risk of dying, and you can try the puzzles as many times as you want. If a puzzle is getting the better of you, you can change to an easier skill level at any time.
Of course, it's also true that not everybody likes a relaxing game. If the idea of wandering around an underground labyrinth filled with ancient devices, hieroglyphics, and other artifacts, with no possibility of encountering any monsters has you wondering, what's the point? Then this is probably not the game for you.
You got any advice for those folks, Oracle?
Retrace your eager steps and seek the jewels of inward light.
I was gonna say that.
But there certainly is a market for a good puzzle game. There's lots of great stuff to explore in Jewels of the Oracle, as well as some very satisfying graphic and audio payoffs.
If there is such a thing as a meditative game, Jewel fills the bill. This is tailor-made for people who like puzzles but get ticked off at the cuteness of lemmings. Any final comments, Mr. Oracle?
The forces of nature may not be overcome. Be resigned to contemplation of the earth, wind, moon, and sun.